Aloha wing foilers! In this video I want to cover how to hold the wing for maximum performance. I have 3 topics. One for entry-level riders, another for intermediates, and one for advanced level riders.
Quickly, this is more of at the novice level, and this is for almost the first time wingers. It's really easy to go downwind and end up downwind very quickly. What I want you to try and do is turn the board into the wind. This does 2 things. One is it gets you going upwind so you're not losing as much ground, and it slows the board. The strut is like a windsock or a weather vane. It wants to point the wing into the wind.
You can use this constant to leverage the board upwind or downwind by pointing the clue towards the back or front of the board respectively.
So we call the back of the strut the clue, or back end of the wing. And if I point that wing, if I point it downwind, it's going to point the board downwind. So I want to point the strut behind me, or in this case to my left. And the more I aim it to the left, I'm pulling here, the more it turns into the wind. If I push it away, it turns downwind.
This is done while luffing the wing overhead and steering the board through your core. If you come from a windsurfing background, you'll recognize this is similar to windsurfing in that if you drag the clue towards the tail of the board will turn upwind. When you twist the wing towards the tail of the board, the wing wants to return to pointing into the wind, and as it does, it torques your body and board upwind. However, if you sheet in while pulling the clue back, the sheeting will overpower the steering, effectively canceling the wing's torque to turn the board upwind. I'll say it again, oversheeting cancels the upwind effort. Move your hands forward or sheet out as you twist the clue towards the back of the board.
So if you're going downwind fast and you're sheeting in, it's going to fight you. You need to sheet it out, turn it upwind, and then start.
Simply stated, luff the wing as you twist the wing to torque the board upwind. Moving on to an intermediate level. When you're trying to get on foil, position your wing so that the strut is level with the horizon and the wingtip is close to the water. When you're on your feet but not yet on foil, you might find yourself holding the strut at a slanted angle to keep the wingtip from touching the water. But instead of driving the board forward, it pulls the board laterally or downwind. Holding the center strut level with the horizon improves the airflow over the wing, decreases the drag, and directs the wing's drive forward instead of laterally. Holding the wing just a little higher allows you to level the strut and increase the drive. Once on foil, you can lower the strut to a more neutral position.
So what I do is I'll hold the boom higher above my head. Now this gives me a lot more clearance and allows me to tip the wing more on edge to get maximum drive.
Moving on to a more advanced technique. We learned the importance of bringing the wingtip close to the rail of the board in video episode Wing Foiling Upwind.
Now another thing I'm doing is I'm trying to bring the wingtip as close to the rail of the board as possible. Holding the wingtip close to the board maximizes the wing's horizontal drive.
Now I want to apply the same technique on all points of sail, paying particular attention when exiting a transition. As an advanced rider, you're aware of the benefit of bringing the wingtip close to the rail of the board. It's so much more efficient going upwind. Now I want you to think about returning that wingtip as quickly as you can back to the rail of the board after a transition. Regardless of the transition, bringing the wingtip close to the rail will maximize your drive and keep you on foil. To summarize, when you're trying to turn your board upwind, don't oversheet as you bring the clew towards the back of the board. Don't drag your clew. Try and hold the boom or strut more even with the horizon. Transition your wing from one wingtip to the other, trying to keep it close to the rail of the board. I hope this video has helped you with your technique. Stay tuned for additional video after the credits. Aloha Patreon patrons. I just wanted to add some raw footage here at the end and speak freely off script. First off, I want to say thank you to all who have supported me through the Patreon projects. I really appreciate the financial support as well as the moral support at the beach and online. Now, one of the things I've been able to purchase is a solo shot camera. And seen here, I'm wearing a tracker and it follows me across the water, zooms in and zooms out. At the moment it's set on fixed zoom and 60 frames a second. I'm using a 5-meter wing duotone prototype and my 4.8 board. It's about 55 liters, matched with a GoFoil high aspect wing, around 800 centimeters, so it's pretty tiny. The camera, it's been awesome. It's allowed me to study my own technique, and I can see, I shot this about 2 months ago, I can already see changes in my own style, in part because I've studied these and I thought, okay, I need to do more of this and more of that, and I thought it'd be good just to throw it in here and you could look at it if there's things you wanted to learn, like a 360 or what I call 201 tacking. That is tacking before you switch your feet. That video is coming, but for those of you that couldn't wait, I thought I'd throw some stuff in here. The solo shot camera is real temperamental. I've had problems charging it with the software, setting it up, getting it to track you in the middle of the screen is a real challenge. It often misses the stuff, or it thinks you're over there, but it's looking the other way, and it's got a bad rap on the internet with all kinds of problems, and supposedly the company doesn't give the best service. I recently had a problem and reached out to them, but I was able to figure out how to fix it myself. It's, like I said, full of challenges, but when it works, it's great, as you can see here. Now, as far as subjects for future videos, on the poll that I did last month, a lot of people wanted jibing, which I've done a couple jibing since then, updates, and tacking was next on it, and I'm working on tacking, but in the meantime you can look at this stuff. I do have some ideas for practice training, something that'll help you through your turns, so that's coming. I'm also working on a tight radius jibe video, or an idea anyway. I'd like to do that in the near future. Other requests included coast runs and wave riding and self-rescue and on and on and on. So there's lots of topics. I've just been doing one video a month at this point. Let me know if you'd like to see more than that. And it does take quite a bit of time to get the shots that I like. I really like to have shots that hit you over the head, obvious. So sometimes, after a half day of shooting, I come home and I didn't capture it. Maybe I got lucky and got something else. Or countless times I don't know, I didn't have the Sims card, or I had the camera on the wrong orientation. I had it on portrait instead of landscape, or there's all kinds of challenges. So for every hour of filming, there's usually only a minute of usable footage. So it does take a lot of time to get all the stuff. It's pretty easy to put music to action and make a music video. That's easy and fun. But trying to get a shot that portrays the actual technique that I'm trying to teach, and sometimes that technique is a feeling. It's really tough to capture a feeling. So it's been challenging. When I think about wave riding, I struggle with how am I going to film that? How do you film the feeling of surfing? So I want to get some more drone footage, and it being summertime, my opportunities to catch waves on video are limited. Although doing a coast run, it's easier. But with the coast run, I can only fly the drone up near Ho'okipa, and drone pilots are hard to come by. I mean, I can film someone else, of course, but I can't do any filming around Kanaha because of the proximity to the airport. So let me know what you'd like to see in future videos. Again, I have a few ideas in mind, but it's always good to hear from everyone. You can leave your comments below, or you could message me, or if you see me at the beach, you can let me know. And let me know too what you think about this little blog style at the end with the raw footage. If you like that, if you'd like to see more of it. Assuming you got past the credits and watched it all the way to the end. And if you could, spread the word about our effort here on Patreon to make no-nonsense, straightforward, instructional wing videos. Really, it's kind of a secret. I can market it, but you can't see the videos until you pledge your support. So when you click on Patreon and look, you can see the titles, but the screens are blank. So you really don't know what you're getting. So I'm counting on word of mouth to get the word out there. I do a little bit of posting on Instagram, a little bit on Facebook, and of course on YouTube I've got links pointing to Patreon. So again, thank you for your support. Hope this helped you in your wing foiling endeavor, and we'll see you on the water at some point. Aloha.